Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Look, if you manage shared hosting infrastructure, you already know the drill. We're talking about those brutal 3 a.m. pager alerts and the incredible stress of trying to track down an invisible compromised site. Well, today we're talking about moving from that reactive chaos to proactive control. We're going to get right under the hood of GuardSuite, a platform specifically designed to give providers deep, actionable intelligence completely without melting their servers in the process. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our agenda for today. First, the hosting visibility gap. Second, local first architecture. Third, scan governance and resource limits. Fourth, correlation and exposure detection. Fifth, building the operational queue. And finally, number 6, inside the dashboard. Starting right off with Section 1, the hosting visibility gap. We're looking at the messy reality of shared infrastructure. To kick things off, I really want you to think about this question. Why doesn't server security actually equal application security? If you're a sysadmin, you know you already have your web application firewalls, you've got strict firewall rules in place, and your OS hardening is probably top-notch. And hey, those are absolutely essential. But here's the catch. They don't automatically tell you which of your thousands of customer sites has a vulnerable plugin, or an exposed backup, or a highly suspicious file change. They do a great job protecting the box, but they're practically blind to the application-level risks sitting right inside it. And this brilliantly illustrates the problem. Think of a shared server like a massive, tangled switchboard. You aren't just managing one neat enterprise app. You're managing thousands of customer accounts, add-on domains, subdomains, document routes, the whole shebang. The risk isn't just concentrated in one easily monitored location. It's spread out everywhere across thousands of isolated SMB website estates. And precisely because it's everywhere, it becomes virtually invisible to your traditional server-level tools. Now, you might be thinking, well, what about standard anti-malware tools like Immunify 360? And sure, those tools are fantastic category leaders for what they do, which is reacting to known malicious files and suspicious PHP functions based on file signatures. But they are primarily reactive, right? They're coming in to clean up the mess after the malware has already landed. GuardSuite shifts this entire paradigm from reactive malware cleanup to proactive risk intelligence. It's all about spotting the vulnerabilities, the misconfigurations, and those suspicious drifts way before they turn into a full-blown security incident. Moving on to Section 2, local first architecture. We're talking privacy-conscious, zero-install intelligence. Local first architecture is an absolutely critical concept here. Global privacy regulations are driving a massive shift in our industry. Hosting providers literally cannot just pipe sensitive customer environments off to external SaaS scanners anymore. So GuardSuite is built to operate entirely inside your hosting environment. It uses a local Go core daemon and Unix socket transport. What does that mean for you? It means it maintains tenant-aware scoping and data sovereignty by default. You get provider-side intelligence across WordPress, frameworks, and plugins with 0 per-site installations required, and without your data ever leaving the server. All right, Section 3, scan governance and resource limits. This is all about respecting the server's operational reality. We all know the biggest sysadmin fear, right? A noisy, resource-heavy security tool that ends up crashing the shared server. GuardSuite's defensibility lies heavily in its operational engine. It doesn't just blindly scan, it actually respects the server's operational reality. The engine utilizes adaptive governor modes to dynamically throttle its own execution. It uses strict queue controls to orchestrate tasks smoothly. And honestly, perhaps most importantly, it employs load-aware deferral. If the server starts experiencing high swap pressure or CPU stress, the engine intelligently pauses heavy security checks. It ensures that security scanning remains viable and completely safe on high-density production environments, so you can actually breathe easy. Now for Section 4, correlation and exposure detection, or as I like to call it, finding the needle in the hosting haystack. So how does the engine actually process all this risk data? Well, it relies on a rigorous 4-step correlation engine. First up, it maps the inventory, discovering every single account and document root. Next, it detects the stack. And we're not just talking WordPress here, but mixed environments like Laravel, Symfony, Drupal, or Magento. Then it correlates local CVEs and public exposures directly to those specific components. Finally, it flags suspicious drift over time. This process perfectly connects abstract vulnerability data directly to a specific website and a specific customer owner. And let's talk about exposures for a second, because not every incident starts with some complex zero-day CVE. Often, it's something incredibly simple and entirely preventable. GuardSuite's exposure intelligence specifically hunts for risky public assets. We're talking about exposed.env files containing database passwords, left-behind backup archives, public database dumps, source control artifacts, even debug logs. Finding these dangerous exposures before an automated bot inevitably scrapes them, that is an absolute game changer for incident prevention. So, the crucial point is this. Security isn't just about scanning for known bad files. It's about understanding suspicious change over time. GuardSuite's Change Intelligence actively tracks security-relevant file drift. If a new executable file suddenly appears deep in an image upload path, or if a highly sensitive configuration is modified, or if file permissions just unexpectedly drift, the system surfaces it. These are your early warning signals of a compromise, or at the very least, a highly risky deployment that deserves immediate investigation. Let's move to Section 5, building the operational queue, turning raw alerts into an actionable workflow. Because let's be honest, a massive long list of technical alerts does absolutely nothing to solve operations. A spreadsheet with 5,000 generic warnings is just going to get ignored by a busy hosting support team. It's just raw noise that drains them. GuardSuite is built from the ground up to convert those technical signals into a prioritized operational queue. It attaches severity, risk scores, suppression rules, and workflow statuses directly to the findings. It tells your team exactly what needs attention first. Finally, Section 6, inside the dashboard. Let's look at the visual proof of this operational workflow. Let's move to the interface and see how this builds a complete picture right inside the WHM plugin. This is your provider-level view. Notice how clean it is. You instantly see your entire estate mapped out. Here we're seeing 64 accounts and 64 sites. But more importantly, look at the prioritization. You have a direct, simple count of critical and high-severity findings. Over on the right, you can see the queue sits at 110 items, basically pulling those 173 CVEs into an actual manageable workflow. This is what actionable intelligence looks like at a single glance. Now, check out the status bar right in the middle of the dashboard. We talked earlier about scan governance, right? Well, look right there. Heavy checks paused due to server load. And right below it, there's a clear recommendation stating that heavy checks delayed due to SWAT pressure. This is that load-aware deferral literally happening in action. The system is actively protecting the shared service performance, and it's providing complete mechanical transparency to the sysadmin directly in the UI. No guessing required. So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to ponder. Is your current security stack actually providing you with actionable, prioritized intelligence across all your customer applications? Or is it just generating raw noise and leaving you completely blind until a customer actually gets compromised? By shifting to a local-first, resource-aware intelligence model, hosting providers can finally bridge this visibility gap once and for all. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this explainer today, and keep learning.